The Lotus Sutra, the Universal Door of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Chapter 25. Thus, I have heard, at one time, the Buddha dwelt on Mount Yatrata.
At that time, Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva rose from his seat, uncovered his right shoulder, placed his palms together, and facing the Buddha said, "Well-honored one, for what reasons is the Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara called Avalokitesvara?" The Buddha told Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva, "Good man, if any of the limitless hundreds of thousands of myriads of kotis of living beings who are undergoing all kinds of suffering, hear of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and recite his name single-mindedly, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva will immediately hear their voices and rescue them. If a person who upholds the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva enters the great fire, the fire will not burn him, all because of this Bodhisattva's awesome spiritual power. If a person, being taught about in the great sea, calls out the Bodhisattva's name, they will find the shallow place. If the hundreds of thousands of myriads of kotis of beings who seek gold, silver, lapis lazuli, mother of pearl, carnelian, coral, amber, pearls, and so forth, enter the great sea, an evil wind may toss the boats into the territory of the Rakshasa ghosts. But if among them there is even one person who calls out the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, they will all be saved from the difficulty of the Rakshasas. For that reason, he is called Avalokitesvara. Further, if a person who is about to be hanged calls out the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, the knives and staves of the attackers will break into pieces and he will be saved. If Yaksas and Rasasas enough to fill the 3,000 great thousand-world system come to torment a person, if they hear him call out the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, all those evil ghosts will not even be able to stare at that person with their evil eyes. How much the less harm him? If a person, whether guilty or not, who has been put in stocks, bound with chains, calls out the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, his feathers will break apart and he will immediately be freed. If bandits enough to fill the 3,000 or 8,000 world system infest a dangerous road, on which a merchant chief in charge of costly jewels is leading a group of merchants, but among the merchants there is even a single person who says, "Good man, do not be afraid. You should not single-mindedly recite the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. This Bodhisattva bestows fearlessness upon living beings. If you recite his name, you shall surely be saved from these robbers." And if upon hearing that, the merchants all cry out together, "Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva," then they will immediately be saved, because they recited this name. Inexhaustible Intention. The awesome spiritual power of the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokitesvara is as lofty and sublime as that. If living beings who have much sexual desire constantly and reverently recite the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, they will be separated from desire. If those who have much hatred constantly and reverently recite the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, they will be separated from hatred. If those who are very stupid constantly and reverently recite the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, they will be separated from stupidity. Inexhaustible Intention Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has great awesome spiritual powers such as these and confers great benefits. Therefore, living beings should always be mindful of him. If women who sit sunbound and make offerings to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, they will give birth to blessed, virtuous, and wise sons. If they seek daughters, they will give birth to upright and handsome daughters who have planted roots of virtue in previous lives and who are regarded and respected by all. Inexhaustible Intention of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has powers such as these. If there are living beings who reverently bow to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, they will be blessed and their efforts will not be in vain. Therefore, living beings should all receive and affirm the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Inexhaustible Intention. If a person were to receive and affirm the names of Bodhisattva in number at the grains of sand in 62 kotis of Ganga's rivers, and in addition were to exhaustively make offering to them of food, drink, clothing, bedding, and medicine, what do you think? Would that good man's or good woman's merit and virtue be great or not? Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva replied, Very great, well-done one. The Buddha said, if another person were to receive and uphold the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and bow and make offerings but once, that person's blessing would be equal to and not different from the other person's. They could not be exhausted in hundreds of thousands of myriads of kotis of eons. Inexhaustible Intention. One who receives and upholds the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva obtains the benefit of blessings and virtues as limitless and boundless as those. Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, Well-done one, how does Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva roam through this Saha world? How does he speak the Dharma for living beings? How does he carry out this work with the power of expedience? The Buddha told Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva, Good man, if living beings in this land must be saved by means of someone in the body of a Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva will manifest in the body of a Buddha and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of Pragyaka Buddha, he will manifest in the body of a Pragyaka Buddha and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a hearer, he will manifest in the body of a hearer and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of the Brahma King, he will manifest in the body of the Brahma King and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of Sakra, he will manifest in the body of Sakra and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of the God of Sovereignty, he will manifest in the body of the God of Sovereignty and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of the great God of Sovereignty, he will manifest in the body of the great God of Sovereignty and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a great heavenly general, he will manifest in the body of a great heavenly general and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of Vasaravana, he will manifest in the body of Vasaravana and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a minor king, he will manifest in the body of a minor king and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of an elder, he will manifest in the body of an elder and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a layman, he will manifest in the body of a layman and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a minister of state, he will manifest in the body of a minister of state and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a Brahmin, he will manifest in the body of a Brahmin and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of Bhikshu, Bhikshuni, Upasika, he will manifest in the body of Bhikshu, Bhikshuni, Upasaka, Upasika, Upasaka, or Upasika and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a wife, of an elder, of a layman, of a minister of state, or of a Brahmin, he will manifest in the wife's body and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a pure youth and a pure maiden, he will manifest in the body of a pure youth and pure maiden and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a heavenly dragon, Vaxar, Gandharva, Ashuna, Garuda, Kinara, Mahoraga, human or non-human, and so forth, he will manifest in such a body and speak Dharma for them. If they must be saved by someone in the body of a Vajra-wielding spirit, he will manifest in the body of Vajra-wielding spirit and speak Dharma for them. Inexhaustible Intention of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has a complete merit and virtues such as these, and on in manner of forms, roams throughout the land, saving and liberating living beings. Therefore, you should all single-mindedly make offerings to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva can, in the midst of fear, crisis, and hardship, bestow fearlessness. That is why in this Saha world, all call him the bestower of fearlessness. Inexhaustible Intention, Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, "Well done one, I shall now make an offering to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva." He then removed his necklace of pearls, its value in the hundreds of thousands of ounces of gold, and offered it to the Bodhisattva, saying, "Humane one, accept this Dharma offering, this necklace of bracelet pearls." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva refused to accept it. Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva again said to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, "Humane one, out of pity for us, accept this necklace." The Buddha then told Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, "You should take pity on Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva and the fourfold exemplary, as well as the gods, dragon, vakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, maharagas, humans, non-humans, and so forth, and accept this necklace." Then, out of pity for the fourfold exemplary, the gods, dragons, humans, non-humans, and so forth, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva accepted the necklace. He divided into two parts. One part he offered to Sakyamuni Buddha, and the other to the stupa of many jewels Buddha. Inexhaustible Intention, such is the self-mastery and spiritual power of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva who roams throughout the Saha world. At that time, Inexhaustible Intention Bodhisattva used verses to ask this question. "Well done one, complete with wondrous marks. I now ask again, why is this disciple of the Buddha called Avalokitesvara?" The Honor One, the Perfect, wondrous marks, with verses answered in Inexhaustible Intention. Listen to the practice of Avalokitesvara, who skillfully responds in all places, with vast vows at deep at the sea, throughout inconceivable eons. He has served many thousands of kotis of Buddhas, and has made great, pure vows. I shall now tell you in brief, that for those who hear his name or see him, and who are mindful of his name unceasingly, he can extinguish the suffering of all realms of existence. If someone is the victim of another's harmful intent, and is put into a pit of fire, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the pit of fire will turn into a pool. If someone is being tossed about in this great sea, and is surrounded by the dangers of dragons, fish, and ghosts, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the waves will not drown him. If someone is on the peak of Mount Sumeru, and another person tries to put him off, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, he will stand firm as the sun in space. If someone is pursued by evil people who want to throw him off a vital mountain, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, not a single hair on his body will be harmed. If someone is surrounded by Vikshut bandits who threaten him with knives, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the bandits will all give rise to compassion. If someone is in trouble with the law and on the verge of being executed, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the knives will break into pieces. If someone is in prison, shackled, or chained, or if his hands and feet are in stocks, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, his bonds will open and he will be free. If someone is about to be harmed by mantras, spells, or poison, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the harm will all return to the sender. If someone meets with evil rakshasas, poisonous dragons, or ghosts, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, they will then not dare to harm him. If someone is surrounded by Vikshut beasts with fearsome fangs and claws, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the beasts will quickly run far away. Poisonous snakes and scorpions have blazing little vapors, but if one evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, at the sound of one's voice, they will disperse. Clouds of roaring thunder and lightning may send down hail or great floods of rain, but if one evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, the clouds will immediately scatter. Living beings are beset with hardships and oppressed by limitless sufferings. The power of Avalokitesvara's wondrous wisdom can rescue the world from suffering. Complete with the power of spiritual penetrations, vastly cultivating wisdom and expedient means, going throughout countries in the 10 directions, it manifests everywhere in all places. The various evil destinies, those of the hells, ghosts, and animals, and the pain of birth, old age, sickness, and death are all gradually wiped away. True contemplator, pure contemplator, contemplator with vast, great wisdom, compassionate contemplator, kind contemplator, may we constantly behold you with reverence. Undefiled pure light, the sun of wisdom that breaks through the darkness, is able to quell calamities of wind and fire as it shines in all worlds. Compassionate substance, the thunder of precepts, kind intent, a wondrous great cloud. He rains down sweet dew and dharma rain, which extinguish the flames of affliction. In the midst of contention, when faced with lawsuits, or when someone is terrified on the battlefield, if he evokes the strength of Avalokitesvara, on his many enemies will scatter and leave. Wondrous your sound, contemplator of the world's sounds, a pure sound, a sound like the sea tide, a sound beyond all worldly sounds. We shall always bear it in mind. In thought after thought, we have no doubt. Avalokitesvara is pure and sagely. In times of suffering, agony, danger, and death, he is our refuge and protector. Complete with all merit and virtue, his kind eyes watching living beings, he is endowed with massive blessing, limitless at the sea. Therefore, we should reverently worship him. At that time, the Bodhisattva guardian of the earth rose from his seat and said to the Buddha, Wondrous, if there are those who hear this chapter of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, who learn about the self-mastery and the power of his spiritual penetration as shown in this universal door, you should know that the merit and virtue of such people will not be small. When the Buddha has spoken the universal door chapter, 84,000 living beings in the assembly on brought forward the resolve for Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi.